Bienvenue au Pavillon Suisse. Willkommen im Schweizer Pavillon. Benvenuti nel Padiglione Svizzero. My name is Manuel Sauchli. I'm the Commissioner General and the Pavilion Director of our beautiful Switzerland Pavilion. Switzerland is a small country in the center of Europe. We have beautiful mountains, forests, lakes, rivers, which are very close and very easy to be reached from our cities that we have. Pavilion has been thought in 3 acts. This is act number 1, where the people can play with the umbrellas. They reflect in the facade, they take selfies. It's a very Instagrammable pavilion. There's few typical symbols of Switzerland, like a piece of cheese, the Swiss flag on the umbrella. There's a tree on the umbrella because we know that Switzerland has a lot of forests and trees and an intact natural landscape. And the Act 2 is actually where people are invited to either cross a sea of fog or take a little train taking them through Lucerne. Six-minute loop, and that's just a segment briefly talking about how important it is to take care of the world and the natural resources. And basically the panorama will change from morning, midday into the night. And we have created a smell that is inspired by how the mountains smell or the woods and the forests smell, with the green moss on the floor and the pine trees, and that's the smell that we wanted to recreate to give the people a feeling that they really are in the Swiss landscape. So we were talking about public transport and the different trains that we have connecting the Swiss destinations. So symbolically here, we take a little train that takes us first through the city, then the lake, and then the mountains of Lucerne. We have made it to the top.
My name is Damien from communication team. That was for the second part about tradition. Now we are moving in the direction of the innovation room. So we are between tradition and innovation. And here they are showcasing how they are seeing the mobility in the future, especially the vertical mobility. And we have those tubes symbolizing the elevation, the speed of the elevation, but as well the stalactite and stalagmite. Here in this wall you can see that Switzerland is the most innovative nation in the world. So we are very proud of that, and now we are going to see why and how Switzerland is so innovative. Here we have this drop coming directly from the fog upstairs. Those drops are made from the mist we have, and we are recycling the water. And here what you see falling is not only drop, but it's also ideas. So you can grab some ideas that you have here, and it's showing that our idea, our innovations are coming from our tradition upstairs to fall in this room. And here we have the different factors that are making Switzerland so innovative.
Wherever we go, our pavilion will always be different because we think of the audience or the visitor that will come. Whereas here, we knew that we would talk to the whole world and to a lot of people actually living here or traveling here who have never been to Switzerland. So there's a big part, the pavilion is dedicated to promoting Switzerland as a destination, and a smaller part is talking about the innovations. And that's why, when knowing what the target audience will look like, that's when we decide the characteristics of the pavilion. Our landscaping was inspired by the wadis that you find in this region of the world. And we have used typical plants that you can see in the wadis, such as palm trees and these bushes. And a very sustainable element of the Swiss pavilion is also these cubes that we produced with recycled concrete. So the cubes that you've seen here, they have been concrete used elsewhere, now turned into these cubes that are used by people for sitting, enjoying, or eating. We connect visitors by motivating to play with the umbrellas in front of the pavilion, but basically we connect through the thematic programming. That's where we connect startups from Switzerland with the academia of the Emirates or even the region. We bring in professors, we bring universities, and that's through programming that we actually connect minds and hopefully create a part of the future. Switzerland, actually, if you go up to the hills and mountains, the forest is actually growing. We know that in many parts of the world, deforestation is a big topic, whereas in Switzerland, I'm really happy to say the forest is growing. Only very small portion of the forest is actually wild and not touched. Most of the forests in Switzerland are managed by the government. 80% is with the government, 20% is in private hands, and it's basically managed forests. That means we cut trees, we produce beautiful products such as this parquet floor. We cut, but we also replant, so that's how we manage the forest. What's happening now in Switzerland, there's a big trend towards building in wood, sustainable construction, not only one-family houses, but we do also build apartment buildings as high as 12 floors completely out of wood. And that's a very nice trend that we see in Switzerland. Obviously, what is the biggest issue for Switzerland is also the global warming. You don't find as much snow as you found in the previous years. If you want to go and ski, which skiing is a very important factor for tourism, global warming, change in vegetation. Also for the animals living in Switzerland, the animals that are used to cold, they always have to go higher and higher up because basically the world gets warmer every year. And that's, I think, a problem that we have to address by taking care of how we heat our apartments and houses, how we use sustainable energy rather than petrol and gas. That will be the main challenge also for Switzerland. I would like to invite everyone to come and visit Switzerland this summer and explore our trains and mountains and lakes and rivers where you can come and enjoy yourselves.